Hi professors, welcome to Changlan and Kejing's final ICS project. Our topic is a secure message and graphic user interface. We will have 4 parts in total: the introduction, our demo, discussion about our modifications, and finally the conclusion. Our initial motivation is driven by the movie called The Imitation Game, which is about the British computer scientist Alan Turing, who decrypted German intelligence messages for the British government during World War II. This made us interested in the secure message, and we began to wonder, what is the logic behind it? Can we implement it on our own? So this led us to realize the secure message function for our final ICS project based on the graphic user interface. In the process, we try to implement secure messages and the graphic user interface respectively, and then we integrate them to make sure the functions in the chat systems work well. Let's invite Changlan to give the wonderful demo.
Let's begin our demonstration. Before logging into a system, we have to sign up first. And we type in the password and confirm password. However, if the confirmed password is different, then it will raise an error. So we simply change it into the same one, and that works. And to another user, if we input the same username, the system will tell us the user already exists. So we input a new name for it, and that also works. It is the same way as this login system works, so let's simply ignore it. When we are into the chat room, there are some functions hidden in these 3 dots, and let's have a look at them. When we search for the poem, let's say standard 3, and we will get it. And we can also check who are online and to decide who we want to connect to. Then let's add this contact. Then they're connected. So let's try some easy chatting. And then we type in hi, and they're disconnected so that we can search for the chat history. And that's how it works. So if the users want to quit this system, they can simply do it here. And that's all about the demonstrations.
For secure message, the algorithm is quite simple. We use the public key cryptography, the Hellman approach. To be specific, each client will be assigned a private key, and there are public keys like the clock key and the base key, which both the clients and the server can know it. Based on the public keys, the 2 clients can produce the public-private keys, and this can be used to produce a shared key together. However, because the server doesn't know the private keys, it cannot know the shared key. Having this shared key, they can encrypt and also decrypt the message. However, after integration, we found one problem, that the search function doesn't work well because the server can only store the encrypted message. Also, the search result doesn't only contain the message, but also the time and the username. This makes the implementation more difficult. Then, let's see how we successfully modify the code. Our basic idea is to encrypt the search term first and search it in the server, and then decrypt the search result. Considering that there may be multiple shared keys, When the client chats with multiple people, we add a list to store all the shared keys the client has used. This is our code. There is a for loop to search for the term using all the shared keys we have stored. Also, we use a splint method to help us decrypt the message without influencing other parts of the search result.
Let's take a look at what alterations I've done to the GUI and what improvements we can make. The first thing is a login system, and in this login window, I added another line of password and entry so that users their identification can be checked. And the sign up button is different from the login button. Login button leads to a new function called Go Ahead, while sign up button leads us to a new window. In this window, we will first of all type in those things, and when we click on the sign up, it will get us to the join SF function. In this function, we will load the pico file of user information if it exists, or if it's not, then we will create one. If that pico file already exists, then we will check if the username is the same as what others have signed up. If not, then we will check the password and the confirm password if they are the same. If everything's fine, then the system will automatically store it into the pico file and then destroy this window, and we will get back to the login window. And that's when we can type in the password and the username and click on the login. That will bring us to the go ahead. In this go ahead, we will reload that pico file of user information and to check if the name exists. If not, the system will tell us user not exists, and if the password is wrong, it will tell us to try again. And everything's fine, we'll move ahead to our chat room. In the chat room is where the layout function works. First of all, I was thinking that what those parameters inside of those like entry or place or button means, like BG and other things. So I tried to change the things in it, like changing the color into cyan and change the type of words into the form that I like. Then I was thinking about how to add those functions into this system instead of let the users directly type them, like the time and who are online. So I took the ideas from WeChat, where they put those functions into 3 dots in the menu. And that's what I did to the layout function, that I add the function menu as follows. And they have comment, so we have to define a new function which is called next move. For actions like time, who, quit, they're simple because we can simply add those message to my message and then it will work. However, for functions like add contacts, search chat history, or poem, the system will interact with us to type in some words and go ahead. So for these functions, I create a new window and a new button as go, and define a new function called go to store this, to get the information from that entry and store it into self.myMessage. And that's basically how this works. There are of course some improvements that I can make for this system. First of all is the unification of sign up and login, because these two windows are almost in the same form. However, the login was written by our professors, while sign up was improvised or got some idea from the internet and then improvised, so that the structure of those functions are slightly different, or something are tremendously different, such as the setup for background color, or the type of words. Like for the login system, there are some codes that I don't understand, but in sign up I just type the color into cyan or purple or black, these simple words that is more easy to understand. However, if we need to improve this, the unification of sign up and login is important for others to understand our codes more clearly. Then we can add the switch button for secure messaging, so that users can choose if they want to chat freely and openly for all users, or they just want to send some privacy to another person. And also there's one more ID check window can be added to the system, so that when you are logged in and you maybe left your computer, and somebody else can directly check your chat history. However, if you do not want others to use your system, this ID check window will be very useful for your history privacy. And that's all about the GUI part.
In conclusion, we add a secure message function for our chat system and integrate it with a graphic user interface. We did some modifications to make our search function workable. However, we think there's still something we can improve. Maybe we can change the dictionary called self-indices in the server into a list that contains multiple dictionaries. Every shared key can be matched to one dictionary. We think this may make our search results more accurate. Thank you for watching our video.